In the past few years, Nigeria has grown into one of Africa's largest and most vibrant markets for ICT products and services, with an ecosystem that ranges from software startups to infrastructure firms. Currently, Nigeria is both the largest mobile telecoms market and the largest internet market in Africa by volume. It's also ranked 8th out of the UN's 212 member countries in terms of internet users. Yet much of this is as a result of the country's large population. Comparatively, Nigeria ranks about 128th in terms of internet penetration. This relatively low rate of penetration and the high rate of internet uptake points to considerable potential for future growth. The IT sector also is playing an increasingly central role in a traditionally oil-dependent economy, and IT currently accounts for about 12% of Nigeria's GDP, making it the fastest growing component of the economy. Experts say that an explosion is coming in the Nigerian ICT industry. It is expected to contribute about 20% to GDP by 2020, and areas that are poised to grow rapidly include business process outsourcing, data hosting, and cloud computing. It so happens that these are some of the areas on which Accenture Nigeria is focusing. Accenture is a technology firm that globally derives more than 70% of its income from technology-based work, and Accenture's work in Nigeria is driven by its country managing director, Mr. Niyi Yusuf, who joins me on View from the Top today on this wet day in Lagos. I want to thank him very much. Thank you, Mr. Yusuf, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for tuning in. My name is Modele Sharafa Yusuf. Here's a brief biography of my guest before our conversation. Born on April 1, 1970, Niyi Yusuf has a BSc degree, combined honors in computer science and economics from the Obafemi Awolowo University, and a graduate diploma in management from the University of Wales. He joined Accenture, then at Sane in 1995, after a 4-year stint with JKK, a Nigerian IT company. Before becoming country managing director, he was the senior executive responsible for the systems integration and technology group of Accenture Nigeria. He also currently has coverage for Accenture's business in Ghana. Niyi is a member of the Governing Council of Corona Schools Trust Council and a member of the Board of Trustees of Fountain University Osogbo. He's also a director of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, a director of American Business Council, a director of Enablers Ghana, and chairman of Junior Achievement of Nigeria. Mr. Yusuf has represented Accenture on the boards of InterSwitch ATM Consortium and is currently a council member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He has served on the boards of NASFAT's Tasfan Beverages. He's a member of the African Leadership Network, a fellow of the African Leadership Initiative, and a member of the Aspen Global Leadership Network. I'm sorry, Yusuf, many companies are increasing their investment, participation and collaboration in digital technologies and looking for new ways to engage third parties. What are the challenges in digitization in Nigeria?
Looking at the challenges of digitalization, I think you can look at it in about 3 or 4 buckets. The first would be from an infrastructure point of view. The infrastructure required to digitize documents, to digitize operations are still not readily available, especially in every nook and cranny of the country. So we should not look at Nigeria from the prism of Lagos or from the prism of the few urban centers. So as you go into the hinterland, you realize that we don't have enough infrastructure. So that is one. The second would be from an acceptance and from a people point of view. The skills that are required to digitize processes, but more importantly, the skills that are required to actually utilize those processes. So you can imagine if you're providing service and your customers are of different literacy level, they need to ensure that whatever service you're providing will be such that those who are highly literate or those who are of medium literacy level can use that can patronize the service. And so the adoption level varies per its literacy level of our people. I think the third would be from a management sophistication point of view. A number of people today still see technology as a cost. And so the average CIO, the average IT manager is having to constantly educate the board, educate the management about the reason and the necessity of investment in technology. Such investments that you may not actually yield the benefits today, But there are things that if you don't do, the competition will beat you silly.
Mining of big data is the current and the next big thing. Do you think Nigerian companies have caught on to this?
Some of the leading companies are latching onto big data, are latching onto analytics. But it's still like an oasis in the desert. So the average Nigerian company still has more foundational and fundamental issues to worry about automating its processes. But Accenture has been involved in a number of analytics, big data projects, pilot projects in Nigeria. So I can say the number of leading companies, especially those that are foreign, the multinationals, are getting to that space.
Business agility can positively drive a company's bottom line. How can companies eliminate complexity and be flexible using IT-driven solutions?
Thank you. That's a perennial challenge. How do you implement technology solutions to improve the agility and flexibility of a company? The way I like to describe it, it's that you need to have what is called an enterprise architecture. And so if you go into a city block, for instance, the average urban and regional planning experts will delineate the cities and say this block A, block B. Within each block, you'll have buildings, you will have zones, etc. And so that allows you to know how the sewer pipes will fit into the electricity pipe, into the telecoms pipe. So the same way, you need to have such an architecture done for a computer environment that says, what kind of systems do we need? And that has to be done with a lot of forward thinking. And so something as basic as we need a system to manage our people. So that's an HR system. We need a system for procurement, a procurement system. We need a system to manage our finances. So you have a financial system. We need a system to manage our customer relationships. We need a system to manage our product delivery. So if you're a bank, you need a system that will allow you to allow customers to do cash deposit or to do cash withdrawal.